Kong is king. Well, that big monkey really is. But the movie itself, not so much. And I know it's Donkey Kong, but you know what I mean. Skull Island is directed by Vogt-Roberts and marks the second movie in the so-called
Monsterverse.
The first one being Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, and I liked how the opening credits of Kong were in that same style as in that film. I was expecting a big budget B-movie monster brawl, and I got a cool, fun B-movie monster brawl, but I didn't expect the movie having that many flaws. But let's begin with the good stuff, and that's without a doubt the title character. With the last Godzilla film, a huge criticism was the lack of actual Godzilla footage. So this time we don't have to wait longer than a few minutes into the movie until we see our beloved anti-hero for the first time. And we get some very brutal and raw monster scenes later on as well. By far my favorite moment in the movie is the scene where Kong greets the human intruders with a flying tree trunk through the cockpit of a helicopter. What's being teased in the trailers is even more epic and fun in the actual movie, and not just because it's a giant monkey fighting stuff, but because of the way it was shot and lit. The movie doesn't shy away from being very drastic and also kind of creative in its shots and edits. It's a gorgeous sequence full of that kind of slaughter you want to see in a movie like this. And Kong is bigger than he was ever before, reaching over 100 meters, and yet he's still able to sneak up on Brie Larson's character without getting noticed. But speaking of Brie Larson's character, yeah, there isn't much to say. She's a photographer and that's about it. There are many characters, because in something like this you want to see many characters end up dying horribly. And it's okay if they tend to be more on the simpler side of things, but at least with your two main leads, Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson, there should have been a little bit more characterization, so we have more reasons to root for them. I think the best one might be Samuel L. Jackson's angry military guy who's coming right out the frustration about losing the Vietnam War and to this hellhole called Skull Island. And that's right, the movie takes place in the 1970s, and I like that a lot. The trailers and posters were teasing that Apocalypse Now flavor, and there's definitely some of it in there. It also means this isn't another remake of the 1933 original King Kong. This isn't about Carl Denham and his expedition. It's something new and yet very reminiscent. Our main guys sympathize with Kong, the military tries to hunt him down, there are natives who praise him as a god, and then there's John C. Reilly's character, who stranded on the island years ago. He's your typical comic relief, and some of the jokes work. The problem is, he isn't the only one who brings stupid jokes to the table. Most of the time the gags fell very flat, and they feel kind of inappropriate in the movie. Some of the deaths are so gruesome that it's fun enough already in the context of a monster movie. But speaking about the death, it's expected that we see a lot of characters die, and when it's someone who's only a side character, it's okay when it's happening in a casual manner. But this movie pretty much threw away big characters as well, and it was very unsatisfying and even a little bit annoying. But alright, the story is pretty simple, the characters are underwritten, that could pass in a fun monster movie. But here comes a bigger criticism in that particular direction. The movie is called Kong Skull Island. First, it was only called Skull Island, and with a title like that I expected many different creatures. A horror adventure into the deepest caverns, where we see all kinds of different abominations. The Peter Jackson version did a pretty good job in that regard. But while the island looks pretty amazing for most of the time, there was also a lot of wasted potential there. I double checked the trailers and there isn't a single monster in the movie you haven't seen before, including some ugly ass birds. The big new monster type here is the skull crawler, but the big end fight that's teased early on is just a bigger version of a normal skull crawler, and for me kind of a letdown. And the way the movie progresses was even a bigger letdown when I think of where they could have gone One of the very first discoveries is the fact that Skull Island proves to be on some kind of hollow earth territory, and I was hoping they would descend there and the movie would get really wondrous. Not happening. The whole island felt also a little bit too lifeless. There's that one giant spider, another great scene, but for some reason it must have been one of a kind. The same goes for a water and a tree creature. And while people are dying pretty fast, it still felt a little bit too convenient to just travel around there. So these are my biggest complaints. But overall, I still had a pretty decent time with the movie. In German I'd say, Kong ist König. Aber da wäre doch mehr drin gewesen. I give Kong Skull Island 6.5 out of 10. It's more like 6.3, but I don't do that.
This is a good group of boys. We're all gonna die together out here. You shouldn't have come here.
Alright, that's it like always. Comment below, let me know what you think about Kong Skull Island. Today's question: what's your favorite big monster movie? Not just a monster movie, but one with a giant creature. Mine's still the original 1933 version. It was way ahead of its time and it's still super entertaining to this day. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And don't forget to hit the clock so we can rock.